I'm so pleased to be here with our First Lady, Anna Stein. Anna, thank you for being here. Secretary Cashwell, thank you for the introduction and for your great leadership of this most important Department of Natural and Cultural Resources. And the team who are both here and across the state, protecting and preserving and educating from these historic sites do tremendous work. So we thank you as well. Congressman Davis, always good to be with you. I don't think I'm ever in Eastern North Carolina where you're not here. I don't know how you do it, but you are everywhere all of the time. This truly is a wonderful celebration. And all that you see here, the flags, the bunting, the tent, these buildings, all the exhibitions that have gone on, so many people worked really hard for a really long time to make this a special event for us all. Let's all just say thank you to everybody involved. And the team at Natural and Cultural Resources, the fact that they secured the only copy of the Halifax Resolves, and they are here one block from us. Who has not yet seen it? Raise your hand. Y'all have got to go to that building. You cannot leave town without laying eyes on it. Just a tremendous accomplishment, and it's going to be here through October, which is great because it gives many more people the opportunity to see it. It also gives more people to have the opportunity to experience the wonder and beauty that is Halifax, North Carolina. Today is a huge day for North Carolina. 250 years ago today, the 4th North Carolina Provincial Congress met here in Halifax and adopted the Halifax Resolves, the first official action by any colony to declare independence from the king. In the months and years before the delegates met here, there were competing forces. Those who wanted reconciliation with the crown and those who wanted rebellion from it, creating a tension in the colonies. A large portion of the colonial population actually wanted to make accommodation with England. Even after the battles of Lexington and Concord, April 9th, 1775, 19th, so put yourself in the mind of the delegates. It was pretty much exactly 1 year before they met here. After that meeting in April of 1775, the Second Continental Congress met in Philadelphia in July of that year. They did not declare independence then. Instead, they submitted the Olive Branch Petition to the king. They wanted accommodation to the crown on more favorable terms. As the calendar turned from 1775 to 1776, the tide began to turn in favor of rebellion, but that path was by no means a certainty. In January of 1776, so about 3 months before folks met here, Thomas Paine published Common Sense, a pamphlet that was truly revolutionary and took off like wildfire across this colony. It was the most published book in American history. It made a powerful argument for an independent, democratic nation founded on equality. Truly a radical notion. Here in North Carolina, just a few weeks after the publication of Common Sense, down near Wilmington, on February 27th, 1776, a militia of patriots skirmished with loyalist troops at the Battle of Moores Creek Bridge, as I said, just outside of Wilmington. The patriots soundly defeated the loyalists, putting an end to English rule in North Carolina, blocking an English invasion of the South, and lighting a flame of liberty within North Carolinians. While these fast-moving events were occurring, North Carolina's provincial delegates spent time meeting with their fellow North Carolinians in towns and counties all across the colony. And they brought all of those perspectives with them here in April 1776 when the 4th North Carolina Provincial Congress gathered. Leaders of the Congress included Samuel Johnston, Richard Caswell, Cornelius Harnett, Thomas Burke, Abner Nash. Do any of those last names sound familiar to any of you? In the resolves, They detailed some of their neighbors' grievances that they had heard, or in their words, the usurpations and violences committed by the king. They wrote that the king and parliament of Great Britain have usurped the power over the persons and property of the people, unlimited and uncontrolled, and disregarding their humble petitions for peace, liberty, and safety. They've made diverse legislative acts, denouncing war, famine, and every species of calamity daily employed in destroying the people and committing the most horrid devastations in the country. By adopting these resolves, the 83 delegates did something radical, something revolutionary, something patriotic. They unanimously empowered North Carolina's representatives at the Second Continental Congress up in Philadelphia to vote to declare our nation's independence from the crown. With these resolves, North Carolina became the first colony to take any action declaring our nation's independence. It's just incredible. And while the resolves were far from perfect, and I encourage you to read all of them, all of it, because there are parts of it that will make you feel very uncomfortable. They did, however, set us on a path of expanding freedom in this nation. It's easy when you look back at history to assume some sort of inevitability. Like, of course it happened. But this historic action and the fact that it was unanimous was by no means a foregone conclusion. After all, it had never happened in the world ever. And back then, their act would have been considered treason, a crime punishable by death, directly rebuking the world's greatest superpower, a country that they depended on for military protection and economic security. Failure objectively was likely, and failure could have been fatal. So with these stakes and these odds, this vote for independence was brave and truly incredible. There are two key truths here. The delegates had the audacity to believe that things could be different from anything that had ever been before. They had the wisdom to go forward together. So first, they believed that a different path was possible. Maybe they pulled inspiration from earlier colonial military victories like the Battle of Moores Creek Bridge, or from the publication of Common Sense that so clearly laid out why this country should be independent. Maybe they took stock of the colony's strengths, or maybe they simply determined that the status quo was simply no longer tolerable. But no matter the reason, they decided that a long shot was a shot worth taking. And from there, they understood that unity would increase their odds of success. The British Empire could surely subdue a ragtag militia or a single colony, but a united force at least stood a chance. So the fact that the 83 delegates voted unanimously, every single one of them who was here voted in favor of these resolves, it was a precursor of the unity that the revolution would require. Did those 83 delegates agree perfectly on why they supported independence or what their new nation would look like? Of course they didn't. But they agreed on enough to stand side by side, locked arm in arm. And less than 3 months later, at the Second Continental Congress in Philadelphia, the 13 colonies, so incredibly diverse and different from one another, declared that we were no longer 13 separate colonies. We are the United States of America. "250 years ago, internal division was one of the greatest threats to our nation's success. 250 years later, I would venture that that is still true. There are so many forces seeking to divide us that profit from our distrust from one another. There are so many forces making the American dream feel out of reach, telling us that our success requires others to fail. And too often we hear crudeness, not civility, and experience division, not decency. It does not have to be this way. Just like our forebears in Halifax, we can chart a different course, a patriotic course right here. After all, we are not red. We are not blue. We are red, white, and blue. E pluribus unum. Out of many, one. We are the United States of America. 250 years later, it is time we remember that and become again the United States of America. We have so much to gain from bridging our differences, not glossing over them, but having the confidence to find common ground and the patriotism to remember that we are all Americans, that we all love this place. It is a revolutionary idea, and it is the North Carolina way. So today we celebrate the boldness and unity that the patriots who gathered here in Halifax, that they sparked a revolution and helped launch the world's first democracy. Happy America 250. God bless North Carolina, the first in freedom state, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.